is Nikki and I am a mother of 2. I have an eldest called Finley who is 3.5 years old, and I also have a little girl called Erin who was born this year, thankfully out of quarantine, and she is 4 months old. So I am a UK based mom, and when I was pregnant with Finley I was looking online to always try and find things that were really helpful for a new time mom, and you are often quite sold things that you don't need. So I had decided to do a video that would have helped me back then of 10 items, 10 products and things that I find really helpful for both my son and my daughter, and hopefully that it can help someone else who was in my position, or just give you some more information on these products. What we'll do is to get into the video. So the first item I'm going to show you is a very simple one, but it's a very helpful one. So when you start weaning your child, you'll need smaller bowls. I found them a lot easier to have the smaller ones anyway. But this is Munchkin. It's a really good brand. They do lots of baby things. And this one is microwavable safe and dishwasher safe. I find it really helpful because it comes with an airtight lid, and it means that you can save food, put it in the fridge, and obviously then you can heat up in the microwave. I wouldn't advise that for younger children, but for older kids, for like Weetabix or something, then that'll be really helpful. It comes in a pack of 4 lids, 4 bowls and 2 spoons, and I got that from Sainsbury's for around about the price of £5, give or take, depending on where you're going to buy it from, which I thought is quite handy. So you can never have enough weaning bowls, never. So the second item it's a simple thing. It's not a necessary item, but I found it really helpful. It's for cradle cap, so it's baby scalp oil, and it's natural apparently, which is really good for baby scalp, and it contains posh ingredients like rosehip oil, calamine and vitamin E. Vitamin E is fantastic for the hair. Calamine is quite calming, so it's not gonna bring baby out in a rash, hopefully. I'm not gonna say that it won't, depends on your baby. And rosehip oil, rose oil usually tends to be quite calming as well, and quite for sensitive skin. Again, could be different for your child, but from what I've learned in the past, they're really good things to have in there. So all you do is just put it on dry hair, dry scalp, and get a brush or a comb, one like this. It's Tommy Tippy, I think. Just brush slightly backwards, not too rough, obviously. You don't want to hurt your child. I don't recommend that. And I think after a couple of washes, we got quite a lot of cradle cap off. Erin had a lot more cradle cap than Finley, and she had a lot more hair than Finley. Finley was bald for a very long time, bless him. So I found that it didn't make her hair, you know, rough or anything like that. The only thing I will say, it's not the nicest after smell. So your baby's hair isn't going to smell like roses unless you've got like a better shampoo, which you just wash it off after you've put it on. Now the third item, it's kind of 2 items but in one because it's one brand. It's the Milton antibacterial. So originally I brought the surface wipes for about £3, but then obviously coronavirus happened and lockdown happened and people went a bit crazy. So this is the first time in weeks that I've been able to find this. So the time that I wasn't using that, I had this. So it's just the antibacterial surface spray. It's 100% plant-based. Both of them are 100% plant-based. Yeah, they're both 100% plant-based, which I personally like to get because if for whatever reason there's a slight residue left on the high chair tray, or you know, it's not toxic to your child, which I think is much better. It does have a bit of a scent to it, and with the wipes, I wouldn't. It says you could use it for like dummies and bottle teats and things, but I wouldn't recommend doing that straight off from like wiping it and then giving it to your baby, because it's got quite a scent to it and it could be a bit nasty for your child. to not digest, but flavour wise. So the third item, which originally, again, it's not a massive necessity, but it's really, really helpful, and I find it very practical, is the Newbie portable UV sterilizer for dummies. So, or pacifiers, depending where you're from. The fantastic thing about it is you've got two options. So you've got a battery part for 3 AAA batteries, and if you're a parent, trust me, you're going to need batteries all the time, of all shapes and sizes. Batteries, you're going to be overrun with them. Or you get a little lead with it, so you can just plug it in. I mean, it's a micro USB, I believe that's what it is. So if you lose it, I'm pretty certain at some point you'll have probably one of those lying around your house. It sterilises them in 3 minutes. I'd recommend, for instance, you could use the Milton wipe your dummy, put it in there. There is a, if I can open it, yeah, there's the UV lights there, and then just like a mirror to, I suppose, reflect the UV lights. UV lights have been used to sterilise stuff in NHS, so I think it's really fantastic and great that you can trust it. Newbie is a brilliant, brilliant brand. I'd recommend trying to find it in places like Boots or pharmacy, drugstores. In Boots, this is cheaper than a Newbie website. It's $19.99 on the Newbie website. I'll stop saying that. It cost me $14.99 from Boots. It's on the pricier side for something so small, but it is really fantastic, and it's 3 minutes. It really isn't much of your time. The fourth item that I have is the Brother Max 6-in-1 thermometer. So my son has what I believe additional needs potential autism. So he can be quite difficult to have sit still, and because the communication's low on his development, it can be quite difficult to explain that he needs to sit down and needs to check his temperature, because even if he's got a raging temperature, that kid's running around, which is mad. But so for this, all it is, it's a non-touch one, so it's got little infrared, 3 buttons on there, so it's really simple. What I do to start it off is you press the mem, so for memory, and the house button together, then the light will come on, and then you just shine it onto the wall, and then it will adjust the temperature and get it back to normal. So when you want the temperature for, well, to check your temperature, it's on your forehead. So if you press the smiley face button, and it will come up pretty quickly, and it will register the temperature pretty quickly. You can also check it on food and water, so bottles or bath water. I recommend just dipping your elbow into the bath water. It's a very great way of doing it. That's just the way I prefer to do it. Yeah, I only really use it for the temperature, so for my son and my daughter. So if you want to have a look at that again, the information will be in the link. Will be in the link below. Now the fifth item, I can't count. The fifth item, it's a really, really helpful thing that any kid that's not potty trained needs. Nappies or nappy pants, pull-ups. So for my son, as I said, he's not ready to potty train yet. So we need bigger nappies or pull-ups. I need to stop saying them. These are size 7, so this XXL, and it is 17 plus kg, which is kilograms, which is about 37 plus pounds. And they're just like this, so even when you're really tired, they're super easy to put on because, well, the front is the front of the elephant and the back is the bum of the elephant. So it's quite easy to tell. They're very soft and they hold up quite a bit, and they're very well sized. I'd recommend Aldi nappies to anybody. They are really, really good. Now the sixth item is a pretty big buy, but I do recommend spending the money on these sort of things. It's the Ergo Baby 360 Omni mesh carrier. It's a mouthful. It goes from 3 kilograms to, I just had it on my phone. Look, let's have a look. It goes up to 44 pounds, which is quite a big child. It's about 4-year-olds, depending on how big or small your child is. This is pricey. I got this from John Lewis, and it is £154.90. But the reason I spent that, I only got this with Erin. With Finley, I had the baby Bjorn, which is really good, but I just found it hurt my shoulders a bit too much. And I have a thing on my spine called sacralization. So basically, the bottom of my spine, L4 and L5 are just fused. So it causes me lower back pain and I have problems with my hips. Now this is actually recommended. It'd be really helpful if I knew the name of it. Well, hip organisation or orthotics or something along that. It's actually recommended and it's safe for people with back problems or hip problems. And it's got a very chunky support belt that goes round. You've got several different ways. It's 360 because you can wear it child on the front facing you, or front facing on your side, which I've not tried yet, and back, so they can sit on your back. Now you've got loads of different options. If you wanted me to do a review video on this, I'll do a review video on this. So it's me rambling on about this for ages. But you do get a little hood that you can clip onto the top of the straps. You've got different ways you can wear the straps. The thing I find handy, it's got a pocket that I actually learned today that you can take off. It's got a zip pocket and another thing which is helpful for phones, dummies, anything you want to put in there. Now, this item I brought, it's the Snuggle Butt. It is by far the best bath that I have ever looked at. I saw it in the baby show. It's got a max line where you fill it to. It's got supportive seats, excuse all the dustness, right, give it a wipe. But it's got a supportive, so the baby's bum goes there and the legs go over there, and it's really supportive, and it means that you can sit up. The baby can sit up with less arm support, awkward ways of holding your baby. Now I got that because someone in my family has cerebral palsy. It's all on the one side, so it can be a bit more awkward to hold baby, wash baby. And I thought, well, if they needed to look after the baby, you got this for Finley, then they can still wash him and not worry too much about the support. And I've absolutely loved the bath. It's lasted through to Finley. He had low muscle tone, so it was really helpful for him to be able to sit up, and he loved that. And he was in that till he was over a year old. But I absolutely love them. They do other items, again I'll link it below. The price when I brought it was about £20, but it is bordering £30 now. I got it from John Lewis, but I think it's just because it's become so popular. So I definitely recommend that one. And the last item, ow, my hip just cracked, is the Joy, however the heck you want to pronounce it, Sansa swing. So this is the Petit City. There's other options, but I like this one because it's black and white and grey, and for younger children it's actually really good for their sensory, so they see things better with black and white. So that's why we went for this one, and it was on sale, so you can't argue that. It does have a little squeaker in there, so when they try to grab, that could be great for them. And you do obviously have the option to put it forward or put it back. A lot of the time we still have it back because our daughter's not quite ready to play with these yet. And another great thing is that you actually have 3 sitting options. So you've got lying down, so this is the mostly lying down option. There's a little button underneath that you just pull towards yourself, and it can go up 1 or it can go up to full sitting, which is really good. And you can take out the cushioning, so as your child gets bigger, it's great because it goes up to 9 kilograms. Things might have changed since I brought it, but that's from what I remember. and it's got a 5-point harness. So if your daughter or son is anything like ours, they like to escape and they don't always like sitting down. So this is really good and it helps you get on doing what you need to do. And you can also take these apart. So as they get a bit bigger, you might not need these, depending on your child. Now, as you can see at the front, there's a switch. So this section here uses a C battery. So you can have 2 options for vibration setting, which I find really, really good. And babies are used to, especially if they're newborn, they're used to the movements and the noise. So that's a really helpful thing, and it's helped our daughter settle sometimes. So you've got the low setting and then you have the higher setting. If you do have it on all the time, the batteries do drain quite quickly, but as I've said previously, as your parent, you're going to have batteries everywhere. So that is the seat. So as you can see at the bottom is a rocker, and you do have the option to stand it up so it doesn't rock. And it's pretty easy to take the batteries out too. If I put this onto the base, it can sometimes be a bit tricky to find the section on there, but you do get the hang of it in the end. So here is the base. We have it plugged into the mains, just saves more batteries. So the buttons here, you have the on button, which is obviously the most important button. So you've got different settings. So you can have it going forwards and backwards, which will obviously bring it to go forwards and backwards. And then you also have the option to do side to side, which is the other button. You just turn that. You can either have them doing it together. Our daughter likes both of them. So as you can see, the other options that I think is fantastic, if we turn this off, is you have white noise, and you have about 5 options for white noise and 5 options for lullabies. So here's an example of the white noise. And then if you want to press the lullaby, you can press it there. And you get several different options. Different. And then that is the base. So I hope that you found some of that helpful. If not, just write a comment and I will address any other questions. And if you want me to do a review on certain things, then I'm more than happy to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, super simple to do. Hopefully all this can be helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video.